You are tuned in to The T-Side, a podcast where we talk total health, life lessons, and music. I'm your host, licensed therapist, doula, and music enthusiast, Tawnya D. Now let's get into it. Welcome to another episode of The T-Side podcast with me, Tawnya D. If this is your first time listening, thank you. I hope you enjoy the episode and it won't be your last time. If you like what you heard, make sure you leave a review and subscribe over on iTunes or wherever you listen to podcasts. It will definitely help me out. So today I have Miss Tennille McClain with us. She is the owner of Angelic Faces Makeup Artistry. I've been knowing Tennille for, I'm not going to even say how long because I don't remember.
It's been over like 25 years, Tanya.
Yeah,
it's been 25 for the series. Yeah.
And we not old. Not at all.
We are not. No, we are not.
So, like I said, she's the owner of Angelic Faces Makeup Artistry. She has been doing makeup for quite a few years. She actually has done makeup for the Dr. Phil show. And most recently, she did makeup for the Eyes on the Prize documentary that's on HBO. So thank you so much for joining us today. Tell them a little bit about yourself, Miss Tennille.
I am excited to be here today. Thank you so much for asking me, Tanya. To be honest, as many times as I've talked to people about my makeup and that kind of stuff, I've never done an actual podcast. So that's why I was asking you all the questions, because I was like, now, how does the podcast actually work? So I am Tennille McClain of Angelic Faces Makeup Artistry. I am a St. Louis, Missouri-based makeup artist. I've been doing makeup about 15 years now. So I was pre-Instagram, pre-YouTube University. When I started doing makeup, so me and Tanya met in college. We're sorority sisters, so we met in college. And in college, I was not into makeup like that. I mean, I probably used to do, of course, the little one or two little palettes of Wet n Wild or something that had the little sponge applicator and put a little bit on your eye. I remember having a little makeup on pictures and that kind of stuff, but I wasn't into it like that. And so when I got out of college, for some reason, I can't really even tell you, because again, this is really kind of pre-YouTube, pre-Facebook. This was all before, the whole social media rave started, or either it started and it was not widespread. It started and Facebook was like the first big thing, or no, maybe back then it was Black Planet.
Girl.
Right. So when social media came about, it really, when I tell you, it changed the dynamics of makeup completely. I think it changed the dynamics of everything. I don't think there's any industry that really has not been changed due to social media and the whole internet sensation. So our access to availability of education and looking up information. Back then we were doing papers and going on the quote unquote World Wide Web, trying to find information and documents and that kind of stuff. Like literally, I remember trying to find information and trying to look up information about makeup artistry, and there was almost slim to none. I literally had to go to Barnes and Noble.
Oh, wow.
Barnes and Noble, and buy books. I bought a book by Iman, the model. He has books. There's another really famous makeup artist named Kevin Aquan, who he's deceased now, but he's a famous makeup artist who wrote books back in the day. So makeup artistry was actually hard to come by. I really can't tell you what was my inspiration to start doing makeup, but I just started doing my own makeup. And then people just kind of started noticing. I started experimenting with, more and more, a little bit more here and there. And people would always give me compliments on it. And then I got asked to do someone's makeup for a wedding. And I was just like, I don't know. I did do that. And that's actually how I have to remember that's how I'm able to remember like how many years ago I started, depending on when that first that's when I kind of called. That was my first makeup job, was that wedding. And so it was about going on about 15 years ago. And it was bad makeup, but it was makeup.
It must, you mean the makeup itself or your makeup job?
The makeup job that I did for the bride, like it
must not have been bad because you're still doing it.
Right. I have evolved completely, totally. But I mean, back then we were just kind of going by the seat of our pants if we had no formal training, and I had no training at all. So I was like, I think she had to like go to the drugstore, Walgreens or something, and like buy some foundation. Also back then, it wasn't really, I remember she was a very deep complected Black woman.
Did they even have anything for her?
Cool. No, to be honest, they did not have anything that was her color at the the store where she went. She may have gone to I'm pretty sure she probably went to Walgreens. We didn't even have CVS then.
Right.
Back then. CVS wasn't even a thing here in St. Louis. So, but yeah, I think she went to Walgreens and she got the darkest shade she could find. Like that's basically what we did as Black women back then. We got the darkest thing that we could find that was the closest to us, and we made it work. So, so I mean, and that was kind of my first makeup job, and so it really made me want to grow and learn this craft of doing makeup. I wanted to learn more and more, and so back then the biggest teaching makeup, I guess, per se, education type of company at that particular time was MAC. MAC had begun to be full stream. They began to be mainstream, and they took the makeup industry by storm. The first reason being because it was two guys who started MAC. And the main thing is that they started to serve women from the lightest porcelain color to the deeper, melanated skin colors. So they began to put out a vast variety of ranges of foundation. And that was huge in the industry then. It's a norm now. But we even still have to fight sometime now for certain colors to be, in certain lines. But MAC was really the first ones who did it on a wide stream basis. I think Bobby Brown and Fashion Fair is what we really had to go to for MAC. And so whatever Fashion Fair had, or Bobby Brown Cosmetics. Bobby Brown was really good. They had some stuff, but if you didn't go to, and you had to, of course, you had to go to a department store. You had to go to Macy's or Famous and Bar at the, whatever it was at that time to get those things. So that wasn't even like mainstream. You couldn't even just walk into a drugstore and pick those up. So MAC really transformed the industry, and that was who I really I wanted to be a MAC makeup artist. Anybody who was any makeup artist that was the makeup artist worked for MAC. They were the it crew. They were very popular when you went. And when you went into the department store, they had the whole setup. It was glamorous and exciting. So everybody wanted to they were in there
be there. Black. And they wanted, everybody wanted to get their makeup done by them.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. So makeup started being popular then. I mean, it was not to say it wasn't popular, but it wasn't like a mainstream thing, back then. It was just something to do, but they made it fun. They made makeup artists fun. You think about like here locally, for people from St. Louis, they can, remember like Northwest Plaza. So the MAC store in Northwest Plaza, because they had a standalone store. And I want to say that they did have a counter in Macy's.
They did
back then too. So like if you worked it was like Club MAC.
I was going to say it was always popping. Always.
It was Club MAC. They had music going. I mean, everybody got on their black, they, just vibing and talking. I mean, just buying up stuff. Like whatever they told you, you were buying it because you wanted to be popular. Like that's what it was. And so I actually, my husband, we weren't married then, but we were dating, and he actually got me my Mac Pro membership. He sent in some pictures that I did of a wedding party. It was I did my first big large scale wedding. I did it was in Mississippi in July.
Oh,
and
Lord.
She had a lot of makeup artists, and they had black dress. I mean, she had a lot of people in her bridal party, and they had on black dress. It was hot as I don't know what.
That just saying that, I already know.
Yes. And so he got me my Mac Pro membership. And I've still got it to this day. I've had it, about 15 plus years or whatever.
Okay.
And so what that allowed me to do was it allowed me to train, because Mac had the big name makeup artists. So the people who were the big artists that they had, what they would do is those would be the people who they would send out to like Fashion Week and do all of the, they would be the Paris people, the New York Fashion Week, the Milan, all of the big fashion weeks. And so when that season was over, they would also have them, here, and they would be traveling, doing classes all across the country at the Mac stores.
Okay. So is that when you decided to do it professionally after your husband did
like I had the bug by then. I had gotten bit by the bug. Like I was really like, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to be a makeup artist, So that's who I actually was able to take like my first professional like makeup classes from, where when they would have those artists come to, come to the local stores and that kind of stuff. Or either they would send out a list of like everything that they would have for that season. I could like travel to Chicago or LA, or I could travel to wherever they were going and take a class with those makeup artists. And so that was like my first formal trainings that I had with them. And then it started to be more popular with YouTube and social media, where you were able to, more people were starting to do makeup. Those type of things really came about. Back then we were probably trying to see how many colors we can get on one eye at a time, like put 12 colors on an eye. Like, right. So, I mean, the whole evolution of makeup has come a long way. I mean, there's still some people putting 12 colors on their eye, but that's not my clientele that I service now. So, but it was really, really a good time. It was a good time to learn. So I didn't get most of my training. I could say I didn't get most of my training from like social media or YouTube University, which not knocking it at all.
But that's where I go.
Yeah. And a lot of people do that, and they got great information on there. A lot of people I know also too, when I have classes, they say, well, I went on YouTube and I tried to do so-and-so and it didn't look right. I think what happens is that a lot of times when you do look at those videos on YouTube and you try to duplicate it on yourself, people are missing the why. So you can see someone taking this eyeshadow and putting it on their eye and then doing this and buffing it in with another brush and that kind of stuff. And you see them working and it looks amazing when they get done. And you could even just keep hitting play and pause and keep just trying to do it as they're doing and that kind of stuff. But if they don't explain to you the why, you still are at a loss. True. You don't know how to take what they're doing and apply it to you. And so that's where a lot of people get lost at when they look at just looking at a video of someone doing it and then try to duplicate it. So a lot of the things that I really started to get into even after I started doing makeup. So my career path in makeup artistry has gone from me just doing makeup on myself to me starting to do makeup on other people. And when I would do it on other people, I would either travel to them, or if they came to me, like we would literally be sitting in my kitchen doing makeup. Like that's what we would be doing. We'd be sitting in the kitchen doing makeup. I didn't have like a makeup chair or anything. They'd be sitting in the kitchen chair. We'd have all the blinds and curtains open so we get as much lighting in there and that kind of stuff. then I actually, some years ago, I actually renovated my front bedroom and made that be my makeup studio. And I mean,
nice.
I did a totally renovation. It was like, as soon as you walked in the house, you go straight to, walk straight into the makeup thing. Like, you didn't have to walk all over the house. That was kind of one of the things that I really want to get taken care of, so people didn't have to walk all the way through the house and that kind of stuff. I also wanted them to have privacy, to have privacy. So we were in that room, and I made it as comfortable. There was a little love seat in there, and I had painted it real pretty colors and put affirmations and pictures of lips and makeup stuff on the walls and hung TV.
Look at you.
Yeah, I mean, so I like tried to make it like literally a makeup suite, and that's what it was. And I used it for some years, and then it's been a little bit over 3 years ago that I moved into an actual makeup studio. And so that's where I still am now, which is the Nettie Kelly Makeup Lounge in Florissant, Missouri. And I've been there a little bit. It's been over 3 years since we've been open. And I absolutely love it. I could tell you that was the best and the scariest decision I ever made. Going from a home-based studio or, like a home base where I don't pay rent.
Right. Basically doing makeup in your kitchen.
Yes, exactly. Going from free to now paying like booth rent. Like, it was the scariest decision that I ever made. But it was absolutely the best decision that I made. It was a faith-based decision. I had to step out on faith in order for me to grow. And I did, and it was the best thing yet. I've never missed making a payment, saying like God is blessed. Even when I wasn't bringing in the clients, then I mean, I was still able to pay and that kind of stuff. And so it's been absolutely awesome. I can't complain. My career path in makeup journey has been great. And I've started to move and evolve into different things. So I'm enjoying it.
So do you do it full time or most of the time, like in between your regular job all the time? You stay busy?
I'm part-time. I do it part-time. I still work my full-time job. I've been at Emerson almost 50, it'll be 15 years in October. And I still do it part-time. I would absolutely love to do it full-time. There's so many things about that have to happen in order for me to do it, but I'm on my way to doing it full-time.
It'll happen.
Yeah, exactly. But I won't rush it. I'm going to allow God to lead and guide it.
Absolutely.
And just trust those steps. Because if I go out there on my own, just trying to make it happen, I'll be in a
You're learning along the way.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I do it part-time. I do it mostly Saturdays. Sundays are my busy days, of course. Saturday is the busiest day for anything, weddings, makeup, birthday party, whatever people get makeup for. Like, Saturdays are the biggest days. Sunday is probably the second biggest day. And then because of the pandemic, I've had a lot of clients who were booking during the week because doing photo shoots has been a big thing. Because of the pandemic, and people can't do what they want to do. So a lot of people are like, you know what, I'm gonna have a photo shoot. I'm gonna commemorate this birthday or whatever it is and do something for me. So because of that isolation thing and having to kind of be isolated, that there's a lot of people doing photo shoots. So that's kind of what it is.
I remember asking you or telling you years ago, I think it may have been for my 40th birthday or before that. I was like, you know what? I'm going to have you do my makeup. I'm going to have a photo shoot for my 40th birthday. Yep. And I didn't because...
You never did it.
Because at some point along the way, I wasn't excited about turning 40. I was like, eh.
Yeah.
So I didn't do anything really. I mean, my friends and I, we had a party, but I was like, hey... Okay.
You wasn't in the right mindset to do it. Like, no. Like, I don't even want to celebrate this day.
Yeah. And I love taking pictures. I love photos. And I don't really wear a lot of makeup. So, I was like, that'll be something fun, something different.
Right.
45 came around and life was happening. So I still haven't done it, but I still want to do it. And I was like, I don't really want to wait until I'm 50, but
right. Oh no, you don't have to. I just did
the way my life is set up.
Right. It just
might be that long
to get it done. I just had a lady, I think probably a couple months ago, who did like a 53rd birthday, and she went all out. Like people are like, because of the pandemic, people are just celebrating life more so than they are like they would like, you know, again, of course, the milestone birthdays are what you do all the big stuff for, you know, that kind of stuff. But people just celebrate. Like, I'm glad I made it through last year. And she was actually a COVID survivor. She was hospitalized and on a respirator. Like, she had done all of that. And she was like, I told the Lord, if I make it to this next birthday, I'm celebrating full out. And that's what she did. She did this huge photo shoot, and it was like a 53rd birthday or something like that.
Okay.
But she was just celebrating life. And that's really been kind of the going climate and path that people have been taking, is that they've just been like, I don't care what birthday this is. I'm doing something, you know, I'm just commemorating that I'm here. So yeah. It's been a big change. It's been a good change though.
Yeah. So I do have some questions from people who listen to the show, and I'm going to get to those. But first, I wanted to address the people who are not into makeup like me. But now I feel like I have to put on something, some foundation or something just to smooth things out. But I grew up, my dad, he wasn't about makeup. He was like, you look like a clown with all that stuff on your face.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I know people who wear makeup, but they take it off, they look totally different. So when I wear it, I like the natural look.
Oh yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
So I don't want to look like I'm wearing makeup per se.
Yeah.
I just like I do like some color, but so
more so a flawless canvas. I mean, and if you look at me right now, like, I have on makeup, but I've put on so minimal amount of makeup just so I can cover up like some little flaws or some discoloration or hyperpigmentation and darkness in my skin. I put a little bit color on my cheek just to give me a little bit of color. I put a little powder on just to set my makeup so that after I put my little foundation on, so my makeup ain't running and getting all over my mask or whatever. I don't even have anything on my eyes. I think I filled in my eyebrow a little bit, but I look very, very natural with what I've got going on, you know. So I would say to address the people who don't wear makeup, I would say almost not to even be funny, but just come out of the thought, almost kind of the prehistoric thoughts that people have about makeup, because it has evolved. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we went from, you know, daddy saying, you ain't wearing that mess. You know, what you want to look like a streetwalker? Like, that's the old school mentality that people used to think.
Let me tell you something funny. My granny only wore red lipstick. She had the deep red, like on her dresser. Every shade of red, ma'am.
Yes.
All of it,
ma'am.
Along with her wigs. So, you know, we used to try to play in her makeup. But on the other end, my other grandma was like, now, mind you, we're Deltas. I like red. Right. I'm wearing red.
Right.
Streetwalkers wear red.
Yeah.
What?
Yep.
Wait a minute. I'm like, look here, Grandma. Let me tell you something.
Right. But it was a stigma around wearing red. It truly, I mean, it was a stigma around wearing red, and it was a stigma around wearing makeup, because people thought that meant those were the women of the night. That's what that kind of stuff was. Like, that was that old stereotype. That is no longer the world that we live in at all. Like, I mean, it's just not. One of the things I say is to wear makeup to enhance beauty. That's what we want to do. And that's what you are absolutely describing. Is I want to wear something that's going to kind of give me a little coverage, but I don't want to look overdone. I don't want to look made up. completely. And that's the thing, it's really a fine line. And I tell people all the time, especially when I have clients who say, because people like to kind of haggle you for your prices. I'm not one, I don't haggle for prices. Like, it's like the Goodwill, you can't, I'm not going up and down on my prices. When you come to me, I got a set price. But people think, if they say, well, I want to get some natural makeup. Well, how much you charge? Well, it's the same charge if I put 12 color on you, because actually doing natural makeup is harder than it is to do the makeup where I'm applying multiple steps on you. Because
really?
Oh yeah, it is, because the thing is that you're applying something to your skin that is going to add kind of more so like a layer of something. So the more that I'm applying it, the more I've now got to kind of smooth it out. I've got to do what I've got to do to make it look natural. Now, because you've seen my work, that's really more so I'm more of a natural glam type of makeup artist. My clientele is probably women 35 and up. That's probably my normal clientele. So I don't have most of the younger girls until like prom season. Then I have a lot of younger girls and that kind of stuff. But I mostly have most of my clientele is probably 35 and up. Okay. And I would say probably the majority of them are over 40. So they are wanting to be very flawless in their look. And you can do that. You have to find what works for you. So it's almost kind of, that kind of stigma kind of goes with dating a man and being in a bad relationship and saying, I'm giving up on me. I'm done with him. I ain't dealing with him no more. You know what I'm saying? Like, we kind of put these absolutes on makeup, like, she look crazy. I ain't doing that. I ain't wearing no makeup because I don't want to look like her. You don't. You not. Like, you have women who are very over the top with it. You have women who are very, very over the top, and they love the makeup look. They love to look made up. And then you have women who are wanting to just cover and just kind of give themselves a
then you got me.
Look. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So, there's just a very fine line with what you want to do and how you want to do it. And you can wear makeup and still look like yourself, not look made up, not look like a drag queen. Like, some people do the over top thing and they be like, oh, look like a drag queen. You make makeup what you want it to be. So a lot of people don't, because of those stigmas that have plagued us in the past, and the way we were kind of brought up and thought about things. A lot of women, older women, just like, I'm not wearing makeup. I don't do anything. I literally had my oldest client, I think she was probably about 73 or 4 or something at the time. It was about 2 years ago. I did makeup for her daughter, and it was the mother of the bride. And she had never worn makeup in her life. In 70-some years, she had never worn makeup or anything. And so she wanted to get her makeup done for her daughter's wedding. And when she got her makeup done, when I tell you, I think I got the video on my Instagram page. I think I got her pictures and everything. That lady was so, like, when Tawnya, she said, go all out, like, do whatever you're going to do. She had on lashes. She wore lashes. She said, I want all of it. Is what she said. She said, I've never done it. I want all of it. And baby, I gave her the simplest lash, the most muted color eye. She had very, of course, kind of very, African-American women, Black women, we have a lot of high cheekbones. She had the beautiful high cheekbones, but her skin had some wrinkling in it. She had kind of more so the little, what do you call it? Not necessarily moles, but they used to call them like liver spots and that kind of thing. She had those all over her face and that kind of stuff. I didn't do a whole lot of covering and trying to hide those spots and that kind of stuff. Like, I wanted all of it to show. If it was going to show, I used a very sheer makeup. I used a little powder on her. I did everything that I needed to do just to just give her something to just clear her canvas and allow her just face to show through. And baby, she loved it. She was so outdone in her video. when she first looked at herself, she couldn't do nothing but just start laughing. She was just like, wow, I cannot believe this is me. She was like, I have never looked this good in my life. Like, and she was a pretty old lady. She was a beautiful older lady too. I fell in love with her. She probably is my favorite client to this day. And she looked absolutely amazing. She literally would not let them touch her the rest of that day. Like, don't hug me, don't mess up my makeup. Like, she was on a whole other level. So when I tell you, like, that is so much of the reason that I do what I do, like, just to get those reaction out of people.
Yeah.
There are some people who don't like what I do. Like, literally, I'm not everybody's makeup artist. I'm not that naive to think that I can satisfy everybody. I've had some people be like, oh, I don't like this. Take this. It's too much. This is so. And I'm just like, okay, no problem. Let's do, whatever you want. I don't want you to get out of my chair and be dissatisfied after you pay me to do your makeup. So, but at the same time, I mean, I live for someone to have that reaction that they absolutely love themselves. And makeup artists for me, it turned into, at first was just learning how to do makeup. Now that I know how to do makeup, my job is a makeup artistry. This job in me, Angelic Faces Makeup Artistry, is a ministry to me. It's way more than just doing makeup and making pretty faces. What I do know is that people get in my chair and they talk to me about stuff they haven't talked to anybody about. People need an outlet. I work in a very beautiful studio. It's gorgeous in there. If you've ever been, you have to come by Tawnya and see it. But it makes people walk in. It makes you feel, it gives you a feeling just like, oh my gosh, we come in, they come in, do you want any water? Do you want this? That kind of stuff. It's just me time. You're talking about teachers and mothers who have 3 and 4 kids and a husband, and they work 50 hours a week and that kind of stuff. And they get 1 or 2 hours to themselves to come and sit in a chair and allow somebody to just beautify them and have somebody who have a listening ear. I literally pray for my clients before I touch their faces. Like, it is a ministry to me. It's more than just a job. It has become a ministry. I've learned how to do makeup. I'm above just doing makeup. Like, I'm literally knowing that, Lord, whoever I go to and see today, use me however it is that you're going to want to use me. I'm not forcing God on anybody. I believe my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. I know that I'm not forcing him on anybody, but I pray for my people. I have multiple brides that I have already signed contracts with. I've been praying for them and their husbands before we even get to their wedding day, because I know it's necessary. And I know that's the purpose. That's the reason why I'm doing what I'm doing. Is he didn't just give me skills for me to be the baddest makeup artist in St. Louis, which I need to be there outside of St. Louis. But at the same time, he gave me these skills so that I may be able to do his work through this. This is more so an avenue for him to be able to use me and glorify him in the process. So that's my whole reason for doing what I'm doing.
So is that how you came up with the name, partially the reason for Angelic Faces?
Yeah. Because it used to be Makeup by Tennille, and it just sounded real still to me. It just felt unoriginal to me. And so years ago, I did switch over to Angelic Faces because I just wanted to kind of glorify God and what I do. And, so yeah, that was part of the reason that I changed the name.
Good. And since I'm a therapist, I always talk about self-care. Yes. And if they only get that 1 hour to come in with you, that is self-care.
Yes, it is completely self-care. I mean, people get in the chair and they start falling asleep.
I was going to say that would be my mom. My mom, she goes to sleep. That's how you know she's relaxed.
Yes.
Let her go get her hair done. She's out.
She gone. Yeah. And it's also a feeling of safety. You don't fall asleep places where you don't feel safe. It's also a compliment that people will get in my, even though I had to be like, okay, I need to turn your head a little bit. But they'd be like, oh, I'm so sorry. Wait a minute. I'm sorry. Be like, don't worry about it. I'm gonna turn you how I need you to turn. But it is a true form of self-care. It's like going to get your nails done and your hair done and anything else. It is a form of self-care, definitely, more than anything in the world. It is, and it's necessary. Like, we as women, we really have to stop taking care of ourselves the exception. And
absolutely.
we have to, if that means saving up some money to get some makeup done because you never had it done, do that. Book your appointment. Do something you've never done. Experience something. I have so many women. I have a lot of women who kind of downplay their beauty because of their husbands and that kind of stuff, or their boyfriends. I hear a lot of people, don't do so-and-so on me because he don't like that. He don't like that. And I'm just like, what do you like?
Yeah.
What do you like? Like, this isn't about him. He's not wearing the makeup. Like, and of course, especially like brides who, you want your husband to be looking at you, but if he just got a problem with your makeup on you when you walk down that aisle, he's focusing on the wrong thing.
That's a whole different issue.
Yeah, that's a whole nother issue. If all he can focus on is your makeup, like, ooh, you got on some red lipstick, like, what? But women, we have been stunned in our idea of what beauty is. Beauty is not makeup. It definitely, I could tell you that all day long. Beauty is not makeup. It is not. It enhances. Makeup should always enhance what you already have, and that's what makeup is. It should be an enhancement of what you've already have. But people have made makeup be the end all be all. Like, oh, I can't be seen without my makeup. I can't do this. And I used to almost have that stigma too, and it was never because of someone saying something to me, but I always thought because I was a makeup artist, you should see me look like a makeup artist at all times. You shouldn't catch me. You shouldn't see the dark spots I got under my eye. And so that's how I used to think about things. And I had to get out of that. Like, y'all need to know that I look like y'all without my makeup too. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you see me and I look flawless, that's good. But at the same time, when I take this stuff off, I look like y'all as well. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just know how to do my makeup. But at the same time, ain't nothing wrong with your natural beauty. You beautiful. It is what it is.
Right. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, beauty is only skin deep. If you not right on the inside, it don't matter. You can have on all the makeup. Okay.
All of it. All of it.
I'm just saying.
Yes, ma'am. I was going to say, I think I went off on 12 tangents. So I answered one question, but I think I answered about 12 of them that you didn't ask.
That's okay. Now, see, that's what a podcast is. It's a conversation. So it doesn't necessarily have to be boom, boom, boom. It's not necessarily scripted. It's a good conversation. And I'm really enjoying this conversation because that's part of what my podcast is about. Total health, life lessons, and music. So for the total health is self-care. And that's what I was going to say. Maybe you can speak to it more. Just for natural beauty, especially as you get to be my age, you have to take care of your skin. Drink your water. Tawnya, drink your water. See, I got mine right here.
Tennille.
I do not like it, but water flushes out all the
better.
Right. But water flushes out the impurities, and when you start to get, acne and all of that. And so that I do know helps.
I'll tell you another thing about it, especially as we become aging beauties. Our kids are probably going to be more set up going forward in dealing with beauty than what we were and what our parents taught us, and their parents didn't teach them, and that kind of stuff. So those definitions of beauty trickle down. I mean, it trickles down just like anything else. And we're redefining beauty, more so now than what we used to be. But I will tell any woman who is aging, who's getting older, if you're getting in your 40s and that kind of stuff, good makeup only works on good skin. And I'll tell you why I say that. I could take all the makeup in the world and put it on top of some skin that is bad, and it's still going to look like bad makeup. Like, really and truly, you know what I'm saying? So what I tell people is, if you want to start wearing makeup, start doing the skincare more so than anything. The reason why my makeup looks more natural is I actually take the time and buy the products that I put on my clients to prep their skin properly before I apply makeup. So if you just take foundation, you just put foundation on top of your skin, you'll never come out with the outcome that you necessarily want because the canvas is messed up. If an artist has a canvas, if his canvas is flat, he can do all the color, he can do everything. But if he has any type of bump or any type of imperfection in that canvas, then you'll see that in the outcome of their work. And the same thing for our skin. You want to begin to work on the canvas. So part of self-care that I tell ladies to do is have the proper skincare regimen. And you'll hear about that a lot. That's the big thing going now, especially when you talk about makeup, is skin prep, skincare. I teach class about skin prep. One of the bigger things is that, especially with women of color, we were not taught that we need to wear sunscreen. You need at least a SPF 30. That's the name. That's what it is. You need to apply at least a SPF 30 on your face every day.
And my dermatologist told me that.
So you need to, yes, ma'am.
So I wear it every day.
At least a 30 on your skin. And that can come in different forms. So you don't have to necessarily go out and buy just a sunscreen. You can buy products that have SPF in them and they add up to a 30. So if I've got I have a face cream that I use. It is who is it? Peter Thomas Roth, Roth. He has a face cream that I use, a moisturizer that I use, and it has SPF 30 in it. It's a thick cream. It takes me a long time to use it. It's great for women who have dry skin. But it's also good for women who, if you have an oily skin, like it's not that when you have oily skin, you're not supposed to put anything on your skin. You are supposed to put something on your skin. You just need to use something that's based for oily skin. You are always supposed to moisturize, even if you have oily skin. There's a difference between oil and moisture, and I teach that in my class as well. But like I use that, it's a SPF 30 and it's in a face cream. I don't even have to go and buy a sunscreen because I'm already using my face cream. I have a tinted moisturizer that has like a SPF 15 in it.
Okay. I've had something like that before.
Yeah. And what used to happen, one of the reasons that, especially back in the years ago, SPF what happens is, especially like makeup artists, we used to literally almost kind of hate SPF using it because what it does is that it has a reflective quality. This is the reason why you're using it as a sunscreen. It's because the sun rays come down, they hit your face, and it begins to cause the darkness. It begins to cause, if you got dark under eyes and that kind of stuff in your face, even for Caucasian women where they are more susceptible to having more so of the skin cancer, not that we can't get it, but because of their skin being lighter, the sun damage is greater to the lighter complexions because they don't have the melanin and the different things that are in their skin to help them block some of that damage that the sun does. But the sun comes, the rays hit your face, and the sunscreen is literally a reflective quality that reflects that sun away from your face. So that all of that sun that is hitting you is not absorbed into your skin. That's what the sunscreen is, and that's why they call it sunscreen. It's a screen. It's like a blockage, so that the sun rays don't damage your skin. So what it also does in makeup is a reflective quality, so that it's hitting your face and the sunscreen is reflecting it off. What it used to do also is that it used to reflect off, and it used to make a white cast. When you would do makeup back in the day, you used to have like this white cast when you would take a picture, and people would be looking crazy like, oh, they got SPF in it. So they've come a long way, even with SPF, that you can put it on in different products and that kind of stuff. And you can't even tell on the picture now. Like, the technology with makeup is amazing. And it has to keep evolving because technology keeps growing with like the cameras and the TV cameras. And I mean, now you get stuff in 8D and I don't even know all the Ds they got, like 5D, 4D, 8D, 3D, like all these Ds that they got cameras. Like, it is it's just crazy. It's kind of mind-boggling how much the technology is picking up. And if you got a really good TV and you got the whatever, the Wi-Fi and all that kind of stuff hooked up, as it seemed like people almost walking outside of the TV if you got the right thing going on, and you can see so much now on camera. But so that's what sunscreen does, and it's necessary. It's necessary in our daily skincare regimen, is to put it on before you leave out the house and expose yourself to any kind of sun rays. Because if you're dealing with dark, what we call hyperpigmentation, which is just a dark spot, it's darkening the pigment in your skin. So if you have dark under eyes and somebody be like, oh yeah, you got hyperpigmentation, or if you have dark spots on your face, they call it hyperpigmentation. It's just a darkening of your pigment. And so, so actually the sun does damage. It causes that to continue to get worse. And so we were never taught that as Black women, for the most part. We were never taught about that. Our parents didn't know, our moms didn't know to teach us or whatever. So the internet and stuff being on social media and that kind of stuff has been a blessing to teach us about different things that we never knew anything about. So I would tell you another thing that I use that is absolutely amazing is hyaluronic acid.
I've heard of that.
Hyaluronic acid, HYAULORIN. That's HYAUL something, whatever. I'll tell you later. I keep trying to say it on my own, but hyaluronic acid. So now that I say it, when you look at TV, you'll see so many.
I've heard of it.
Yes,
I hear it all the time.
Yes, it's on so many things. Hyaluronic acid and what it is, and I tell everybody, it's almost kind of one of the things that we didn't know that we need. It is great for moisture. It almost holds 100 times its water weight in what it does. So it is puts moisture into your skin. It allows your skin to be absorbing moisture. Hyaluronic acid is used in a ton of different ways. It is actually our body naturally produces it. It's more so found in our eyes and in the flow of our joints, our elbow, knee, our joints and that kind of stuff. Hyaluronic acid is already in our body. As we grow older, we lose it. So and what it is they even use it now they use it when they do knee surgeries and that kind of stuff. They put it in your joints and that kind of stuff, because what is more so than anything is that bone on bone, that kind of stuff that rub, and you got to get surgery. They're putting moisture and a barrier in that, and they put it infuse it in those type of things. And it really does the same thing with our skin. It basically gives us this moisture. It allows our skin to be more moist. You put it on, it begins to kind of give you a little bit more plumpness to your skin. It takes some of the dryness out of your skin. So it's almost adding back into your skin what we're losing on kind of on a regular basis. But it's absolutely amazing. I love to use it. It has more of a long-term effect. You're not going to use it today and be like, oh, I see a difference. No, it's not that kind of thing. It's something that you just put in your regimen every day, and it's not expensive. It's not an expensive thing to use, because I'll tell you exactly what to use. There's a company called The Ordinary. They have hyaluronic acid, and it's in a little, I don't have it right here with me, Tawnya.
So is it like a serum?
Yeah, it's like a serum.
I
don't know if you could even see it, but you see it's got a little eye drop. It's a clear. It comes out completely clear. It's a little bit slimy feeling. I'm trying to, let me put myself so I can see what I'm doing, so I can see what you're seeing. So it's just a clear liquid, and it goes on. And
so a little goes a long way?
Just a little bit goes a long way. You put it on at night after you clean your face and get ready to go to bed, put a little bit on at night. When you clean your face in the morning, do whatever, before you put on your makeup, you put it on in the morning as well. It is a serum. But you can get it in different ways. I also have, if anyone knows, Mario Badescu, they have these, you can get The Ordinary at Ulta. I think you can probably get it at Sephora as well. I know Mario Badescu, you can get that at both Ulta and Sephora as well, but Mario Badescu has a hyaluronic acid dewdrops or something. Those are more expensive than the Ordinary. This bottle from the Ordinary is about $7 probably.
Okay, and that's a 2-ounce bottle?
Yeah, it's a... Girl, now you gotta make me use these bad eyes. My eyes didn't used to be bad like that. I used to joan on people who couldn't see, and now I'm one of them. It says 30 milliliters, one fluid. No, this is where do they say 1 or 2? 1 fluid ounce.
Okay, it's 2%.
Yeah, it's 2%. Well, wait a minute. Yeah, 2% hyaluronic acid in there. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So, and that's kind of the going percentage in all of those serums. Some of them you'll find where they got a little bit higher percentage, but that 2% is pretty much. I would tell anybody is you're wanting to go to find out about skincare and that kind of thing. So I do classes, of course, we do kind of skincare classes where I show you how to prep your skin, and then I show you how to apply your foundation and that kind of stuff.
How often do you do the classes?
I do the class. I would say I probably have been doing them quarterly because they're virtual. So normally I'll set up and I'll advertise for like 3 classes. So I'll do like an eye and like an eyeshadow and an eyebrow class. I normally only do 2 features per class because I have like so many people and everybody's on a different skill level. Right. Everybody's on different skill levels. So when I do the class, I have to narrow it down to just a couple features so we can go through it properly because everybody's on different levels.
Okay.
But yeah, I do it probably like quarterly. So actually, I'll probably do one in March. So yeah, I would tell anybody to definitely, if you're interested in classes and getting some skills and techniques, to follow my Instagram page, which you'll put it on there, Tawnya.
Yep.
You can
Angelic
put it on there.
Faces MUA.
Yeah, it's MU Artistry.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
MU Artistry.
Angelic Faces MU Artistry. Yeah, I think someone else has MUA, so I had to add something else to it. Okay. Yeah, somebody else had like MUA, Angelic Faces MUA or something. Don't go to her. She is not me. Don't be fooled. Is MU Artistry. Yeah, Angelic Faces MU Artistry on Instagram. But I put anytime I have a class or anything, I put that up. It's like I do a lot of the posting of the pictures of my work. I have a ton of clients that I haven't even posted their pictures because I just have not had time to make the videos. So it takes me time to do that. But that's where I'll probably put the most up-to-date information at.
Okay. And I did see, I didn't get a chance to actually purchase, but you sell brushes, makeup brushes as well?
Well, yes and no.
Okay. Was that just a special you had?
Yeah, what it was is that I did for Christmas, around the Christmas time, Black Friday, Christmas, I did a makeup kit. It was a $97 makeup kit. And when I tell you it had everything in there, only thing it didn't have in there was a bottle of foundation because I couldn't match up people's foundation and sell it to, like, I can't match your foundation up unless I see you face to face. So what it was is that it was a big kit. They got eyeshadow palette, blush palette. They got,
was it lip color?
Yeah, they got like 4 lip colors. They got 2 lipsticks and 2 lip glosses. They got a palette for the cream concealer. They got a palette for the powder, the pressed powders. And so the palette had like 8 to 10 different colors. So you had a huge shade range in between it. And it was really geared toward makeup artists. That's what it was, like a beginning makeup artist kit is what I called it. And so that's why everything that I had in there was really like a big variety, a range of colors. But when I tell you literally no one who bought that kit was an aspiring makeup artist. It was all individual ladies who
started to makeup. I started to get one.
Dying and laughing. I was like, this is supposed to be for makeup artists. Like everybody who bought the kit was women who wanted to learn how to do their own makeup. They got the these are These are like
lip gloss
liquid glitters. These are actually liquid eyeshadows, but it's a glitter eyeshadow. They got a couple of those. Like, it was a ton of stuff. They got setting spray, like a facial spray.
The mist that you spray on.
Yeah, like they got the Mario Badescu Tony spray. Like, it was a ton of stuff in this kit for $97. And then I put them into a Facebook group. And so we had like a 30, actually it ended up turning into a 60-day because people purchased later. And also I did a like an hour and a half class with them to teach them how to use the stuff that was in their kit. So
look, I'm telling you, it was in my cart. I was like, I need this because it came with all the brushes and then you got the class because technically that's part of my issue. Mm-hmm. I don't know which brush. If you watch somebody do makeup, they got this brush and this is the blending brush and this is the. I'm like, well, what? The concealer brush. Okay, so you use that with the concealer.
It was like 5 or 6 different brushes that was in the kit as well. So they got all the brushes. We went over how they used them, all of that kind of stuff. I do not have that kit anymore because I was able to get it from my vendors. Mm-hmm. Around like Black Friday for the very discounted price, which is why I was able to offer that at like $97. Okay. I'd probably have to charge another $50 if I was to buy it from the vendors now because they're not selling it at that price. So that's the only reason I end up coming up with that. The thought of even doing it is because I got all this information from my vendors and they were like, oh, we got to sell on this. And I was like, wait a minute. Like, oh my gosh. Yeah. It was the deal. Like I can't offer that for that price ever again unless my vendors offer to me at that price again.
Thanks for tuning in to this episode of the T-Side Podcast. You can find me on Instagram and Facebook at the T-Side Podcast. If you like what you heard, be sure to subscribe, rate, and review wherever you listen to podcasts so you don't miss any of the episodes. And be sure to tell a friend about the show. Until next time.